Good evening, Postal Family. How's everybody doing? My name is Syed. Welcome back to my channel. What's going on this Sunday evening? What's happening? Today I'm just going over something that it's very dangerous to us postal workers, what the Postmaster General Steiner said again in front of Congress, some critical things he mentioned, getting over all that. So, first, if you're new to the channel, my name is Saeed. Postal content is what I do love to do. Thanks everybody for all the support. Keep giving me the thumbs up, smash that hype button. Thanks for all you guys do, the communication in the comments. Love it, all of it. Keep it coming. Appreciate everything you guys share. Your own stuff going on in your stations. Awesome stuff. I love reading it. So keep that going. Everything I say on here is from my views, my research. I don't speak on behalf of USPS Post Office in any of my videos. So our Postmaster General Steiner made some critical statements regarding post office. Let's get to what he mentioned. Start with striking visual. Let's see. Imagine a world where your mail only comes a few days a week, your local post office is permanently logged, and sending a simple letter costs double what it does now. According to Postmaster General, that reality is closer than you think. On May 8th, USPS Postmaster General Steiner delivered a shocking report to the USPS Board of Governors, calling on Congress to strip away historical mandates that protect the postal system as a public service. This isn't a mistake, it is a calculated shift to run the USPS like a for-profit corporation, setting the stage for total privatization. What he mentioned, ending 6-day delivery, cutting down the days and levels of service Americans rely on. Closing local post offices, giving management the ability to close unprofitable offices. Over 70% of local post offices are currently unprofitable by corporate metrics. Closing them would completely isolate rural and low income communities. Skyrocketing rates, eliminating the underpricing of first class mail. Stamp prices are already set to jump from 78 cents to 82 cents on July 12th. Universal Service Obligation, USO. Steiner explicitly targeted the USO, the legal requirement that guarantees uniform mail delivery prices to all Americans regardless of geography. He labeled it unsustainable. Follow the money and the corporate players. The financial crisis. The USPS reported a devastating net loss of $2 billion for quarter 2 of fiscal year 2026. While operating revenue rose slightly due to price hikes, actual mail volume is plummeting across all categories. Even Amazon re-signed a delivery contract with 20% less volume than the previous year. The war surcharge, current war fuel surcharge on priority parcels tied to rising costs from the ongoing war against Iran, effective through January 2027. Political hypocrisy. Washington claims it can afford a $2 billion quarter deficit for public mail, yet burns through $12 billion in a single week of war. These are true facts, guys. I mean, war is going on, but millions and billions of money is going over there. But comes to post office, they're acting ignorant. Who is David Steiner? Background. He is a former CEO of Waste Management and a former board member of FedEx. He recently hired restructuring advisors from Alvarez and Marcel and appointed a new chief solutions officer straight from UPS, a company that recently laid off tens of thousands of workers. Bipartisan betrayal and the union response. Government alignment. This isn't a one-party issue. When Steiner testified before the House Oversight Committee, both Republican Chair Pete Sessions and Democratic ranking member Kwasi Fume eagerly supported sweeping cuts, with Sessions openly touting private industry as the way forward. The union bureaucracy explained how the leaders of major postal unions APWU, NALC, NPMHU, and NRLCA are being accused of downplaying the crisis. APWU President Jonathan Smith dismissed it as mere situation and claimed victory is only a phone call away. The upcoming contract climax. This comes at a critical time as 3 out of 4 postal union contracts expire this year, including the NALC on May 22nd. This is a few days from today. Workers' pensions have already been squeezed, with management suspending $400 million in payments under the guise of liquidity emergency. A global pattern of privatization. United Kingdom Royal Mail was privatized in 2013 and sold off to a billionaire in 2024, resulting in mass service cuts. Canada Post is currently restructuring to eliminate 30,000 jobs, more than half its workforce, and phase out door-to-door delivery. The historical parallel. Historic 1970 Wildcat Postal Strike, where workers went around their own union leadership to halt mail delivery nationwide and fight for their rights. What's the bottom line? Is the mail a fundamental human right and public service, or should it be playground for corporate profit? So these are the things we're looking at, what he's doing. He's not, he comes from a private industry. So this is the things obviously he's going to do. So fast-paced montage of mail truck driving snow, local suburban post office closed, letter carrier dropped, text on the end of mail. Imagine waking up, the end of 6-day work week. These are the things we're discussing. 3 big blows we've discussed. So different things he mentioned. He says, 6-day work week is no longer going to be there. Everything is on the table. Cuts coming. Union doesn't agree with him, of course. So these are the things just wanted to share that he mentioned. Of course, post office is kind of in trouble, or as they claim. You need that help from the Congress. You need that bailout money again. So these are the things he's working with. Everything is on the table. Different things. Another thing, one of you had mentioned that in, I think my previous 2 videos, one or the other, I had mentioned I'm with Renfro. Even if mistakenly, I came across Renfro's name, I would never say I'm with him. That I think you had misunderstood what I was saying. I was talking about Henry, James Henry, who I'm with as the new president. A lot of you, thanks for the comments, always mentioning I should be with Cariff. That Henry's the same, and I always tell you why I'm with Henry. He's never had the top seat. Just because he's vice president right now doesn't mean he's the same as Renfro by any means. He's never had the final say in anything. He gets kicked out of negotiations. Renfro kicks him out. So you can't really judge him right now when doesn't have full power. How else can I explain this, why I'm with James Henry? If and when Cariff is awesome, they both will go at it in the ballots. We'll see who wins, pulls out the win. But James Henry, once he has the main office, he's called the president, he has the full powers, then we'll see what he does for the carrier base. Right now, he doesn't have that full power. Granted, he's a vice president, but like I said, Renfro always keeps him out of key negotiation days and events and all that. So we can't really judge him right now. Granted, okay, I understand you guys are saying that he's vice president, he's the same, six-figure salary, this and that. But I highly, go against that. He's not the same. He will fight for us as the president. Different things will come up. I mean, time will tell, It's just right now, you ain't going to take my word. I know why you guys say Karif. He's one of us. He has a route. He delivers. Just literally, he's one of us, and he will definitely 1,000,000,000% stand up for us. I respect him for that. That's why I always say they're neck and neck. They both have good ideas. Only the difference in Henry is he's vice president. He's already established. But then, that's not what I'm looking at. He hasn't had full power as the president does. So let him become that first. Then we'll see what kind of changes he will bring. That I know me and his supporters know that he will bring major changes for our benefit. So I respect all you are saying. Karif, I should strictly switch to Karif, but right now I'm with Henry, sticking with him, simply because he hasn't had the main office. So we'll see what he does once he becomes president. So may the better man win. I ain't gonna say, not gonna sound like he's automatically gonna win. He's putting up a great fight. Karif is right there. It's gonna come down to a few ballots at the end there. So, may the better man win. I always say that. Other than that, this video was just what Steiner continues to mention in front of the committees, different Congress committees. And, what he mentions, different things of importance to us right now. Different things. Postal workers have fought back before. 1970, we talked about the strike last time against the orders of both President Nixon and their own union leadership. Postal workers launched a massive wildcat strike that brought the country's mail to a grinding halt and forced the government's hand. Today, rank-and-file committees are forming again, insisting that the Postal Service is a fundamental public right, not a piggy bank for private investors. That is so politically correct. I mean, we don't want to make it, as to where, God forbid, it becomes private. We like to keep it a public service. That's what it's always meant to be. Got a club union. Different things we mentioned then. Pete Sessions openly pushed private industry as the path forward to mail. Meanwhile, Democratic ranking member Kwasi Fume patted him on the back, declaring it was a pleasure working with this chairman who shares many of his ideas. Behind the scenes, the USPS already launched an auction system allowing private delivery companies to bid on the last mile capacity, slowly turning a public utility into a de facto contractor for Amazon. So things that Steiner is doing right now is already started that privatization here and there. So this is not good as far as the Postal Service, the public service, what he's doing. But at this point, he makes it sound like his hands are tied and he has to do these things for Postal Service to survive. So it's not good by any means. This news is not good. $400 million are employee squeezing out of employee benefits, different things he's talking about. We had mentioned bleeding USPS. He says this keeps bleeding cash. Same day meeting, they reported staggering net loss, $2 billion for just the second quarter of this year. Even though their revenue went up slightly because they keep hiking prices, the actual volume of mail is cratering. Even Amazon, which relies heavily on the post office for last mile delivery, just re-signed a contract with roughly 20% less volume than the last time. We discussed already. They will be giving us 20% less volume, not the 100%, the last contract. So every industry is taking a hit with this, the inflation going on, the war going on. And, it's taking an effect on everything. The fuel is going up, affects everything. So just wanted to discuss these things. Hope everybody's doing good on this Sunday. And I'll keep tabs on everything, what's going on with the negotiations. The Washington, D.C. Conference is coming up. And a lot of things going to be brought up in that, so we'll keep tabs on that. Mike Cariff was talking recently on a live session. Much respect for Mike Cariff, man. A lot of ideas right there. A lot of intelligence in that Mike Cariff. So they're going to be head and head, if, right now they already are. So I can see why you guys are telling me to lean towards Cariff. He's from our level. He talks everything about us carriers. Much respect to y'all. Much respect to him. He's right there, neck and neck. So we'll see. Maybe he wins. But right now I'm with Henry. They'll go head to head. We'll see what happens in the near future. So keep tabs on everything as far as negotiations. Anything new comes, I'll definitely report it to you guys. Until next time, MailmanSyed out. Take care, guys.